12:01 on Elimination Day, maybe. Elimination Day, maybe. Let's not get too carried away. But thank you very much for being here in the Oil Stream today and every day, brought to you by our great partners at Boston Pizza. This time next week, actually, we'll be at Windermere, Boston Pizza location. Great lounge there. Possible patio show. I've been emailing back and forth with them. Would you prefer a patio show?
I like patio shows.
Yeah.
If it's nice.
Patio shows are good.
They're very nice. I like patios.
What's today? What's the temperature today, Tony?
I checked
it's a little
Siri.
breezy right now.
It was supposed to be 19 with a chance of rain. It was sunny. I'm looking through the blinds of our studio here.
There's a lot of rain in the forecast.
It looks like it's cloudy. I am wearing shorts, but a hoodie as well.
I am also. I love the shorts hoodie look. I'm on shorts and one of our EST sweaters. But not fancy shorts. They're cargo shorts.
I know.
Do you have anything you want me to put in my pocket for you?
Nope.
Come on.
No.
I'll hold your watch while we do the show.
Oh, okay. Sure. Great idea. I'm just going to stand up. I have these Lulu shorts. These are the best. And the pocket.
Oh, those are nice.
Is right here, and it goes that way, so you're not sitting on your wallet.
Oh.
The pocket's on the side.
Okay, now I'll show my shorts.
Yeah, now you could put like
I'm wearing
hammer.
Your typical Mark's Work warehouse shorts.
Yeah.
They have...
They're probably rainproof.
I can take my wallet if I want.
Yeah, you could probably have like a handful of mints in there somewhere.
I'm thinking I'm back coaster.
Yeah, wrappers. Probably a couple of receipts that you've kept in there for months.
Yours are more comfortable. I do find receipts in a lot of my... The other day I found $20 in one of the pockets.
That's the best.
Oh, it was amazing.
Or a pack of gum.
Yeah. Anyway, your shorts are better than my shorts. More comfortable. Mine are definitely more, what do we say, utility-wise?
They're very utility oriented.
They're useful or something
practical
along those lines. Snowman over on the chat says, curious why the dubstep? You don't look like you listen to that type. That was the music, I guess, coming in. I'll be honest with you. I found that music.
We've been using
it when we launched Oil
long
Stream.
time ago, 5-6 years.
I just found it on a website, Ben Sound, or something like that. And I was in a hurry, so I picked it. Yeah. And we just kind of been using it ever since.
Yeah.
You think we need a refresh on the sound? Can we do a different song?
I don't know. I know, we've been doing Oil Stream for 5 years now. We started it as a podcast.
Started it in was it pre-pandemic? During the pandemic? Right after the pandemic?
I think it was during.
It's been at least 4 years.
And you had already started Two Guys and a Goalie as a podcast.
Two Guys was a long time.
And then when we launched EST, we turned them into full-length shows.
It's funny because of all the shows here at EST, the longest one running, well, I guess our morning show. But the number 2 one is Two Guys and a Goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Cass and Gager and I. We started that one back in the day.
I remember doing it at Little Brick.
Yeah, you would come in sometimes.
I'd fill in. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, we had a bunch of people roll in there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I mean, it's cool to see how everything has evolved. But yeah, that music, we've had that for...
We've never had a different song on Oil Stream. That's been since day one, yeah.
Same with the Two Guys music. I don't know.
All of the music, I've never really changed the music on those shows. When we transitioned from like podcasts only to online station shows, just kind of left it all the same.
Yeah. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, I never either.
Just kind of
Tommy is wearing the black hoodie from Play Alberta, and I'm wearing a black Conair t-shirt from a t-shirt site that popped up on my Instagram. So
that's awesome.
It's solid.
The algorithm knows you.
Yeah, it is. It's like, hey, we don't buy a Conair shirt. Oh. Don't mind if I do. Click. Tammy hates it. I'll be in. I just actually Reed. I've got this. Reed, would you want this? I ordered a Blockbuster hoodie. And it's not big enough for me. So would you want a Blockbuster? Because you're a Blockbuster guy.
He's wearing a Def
I'll bring it in.
Leppard
I'll bring it in for you. I've got it hanging in my closet. And I've been telling myself, bring that in for Reed. I think you would like it because it's got Blockbuster on it. I bought it as a nice retro purchase. And it's, you know how you buy something from a website. Sometimes it's way too big. Sometimes it's not big enough.
Yeah.
This one's not even close to fit me. It'll fit Reed nice.
He looks very nice. He's also wearing shorts. This Play Alberta hoodie is ideal. It's not too thick.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I washed it
spring
and
fall hoodie.
It. Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you shrink it a bit?
Yeah.
Because what size is that?
Large.
You just shrink it down a bit from large? Do you usually wear mediums?
I'm
large.
I'm stuck between large and
skinny,
medium.
Like
no.
Runt?
No.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm built like a European distance runner.
Okay, wait a second. Has somebody told you that, or is that your own description of yourself?
Maybe a little bit of column A and maybe a little bit of column B.
All right. That's a funny one.
Thank you.
Jilly 1A is in. It says, hey, EST team, any insight into why the Play Alberta EST special early bird bet comes as outcomes suspended when I try to bet it? You know what? I'm just going to send this. Yeah, maybe because the odds are too good. Maybe they're changing it. I'm going to fire that over to the team right now.
Okay.
I'll just send it over and we'll see.
Hey, Tube Socks. I heard from Tube Socks. Good to hear from
I was
Tube
wondering.
Socks.
I don't think he sent in any Macromalloy interest today.
He's been tuning in.
Makes me sad.
He did add Tube Socks. I'm not gonna give away everything. I just said, Steve, what's going on? I haven't heard from you in a while. He says,
oh, you texted him?
yeah, just to make sure, just to see what he's up to. I like Steve. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
He says the chat this time of year gets to be a bit
makes
much.
sense.
Yeah,
it
it
makes
does.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he still could have texted in his Macromalloy intros, you know? Unless I missed him. I might have missed him.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jilly 1A, I have sent that over to the team and asked if anybody else is having those issues. And we'll see. I'll probably hop in here and bet it myself. I usually don't officially place my wagers until I'm off the air of this show, the noon show. But let me just double check and see what's up. Tommy, what do you think of this thing I put together here? McDavid
like
power play point, Draisaitl goal, Oilers win 8-1.
Yeah. I have to put my I have my account, but I haven't put any funds in yet. So now I need to. I like the play of the day. I'd put the early bird. I would sprinkle that because you could get it done on one goal and ultimately an Oilers result at the end of the night. Plus 800 is huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
And that's the partner parlay 1470 is like, what do we have?
Yes. I'll get on that. So
Alberg, Shoffley, and Sungjae M all to finish top 20.
1470.
That's huge.
My God, you guys. I'm hitting that right now, too.
I'm be sprinkling today.
Okay, so that one was accepted. Yeah, I tried to do the early bird bet as well. I also got a outcome suspended, so I messaged the guys as well. So they'll fix that. And then this partner parlay number.
That's huge.
Plus 1470. Yeah, you got to get on that immediately. I think that number might change.
Yeah.
Go hit that thing right now with their partners over at Play Alberta. The Oil Stream is brought to you by Boston Pizza. If you've not yet checked out the playoff menu, join us next Wednesday for lunch at Windermere, possibly a patio show depending on the weather. And look, game 1, round 3. BP's Westgate. Might as well slot it into the schedule.
Sounds pretty nice to me.
They're getting this thing. There's no way they're losing 3 times to the Golden Knights.
No, I don't think so.
I'll go this far as saying, you know how people are like, oh, the Oilers could Oiler. I just don't think Vegas is good enough to do that. Even if the Oilers don't drop the hammer in one of the games, I think without even playing another game like they did last game, I think they could still finish this series off. Mm-hmm. Maybe not specifically tonight, but I don't think Vegas is a good enough team to win 3 in a row against this Oilers team, even if the Oilers aren't absolutely perfect like they were in Game 4.
Yeah, I stand by that statement. But what I found interesting is I was mentioning it on Hangout. Granger came by for a beer post-game on, what was it, Wednesday night? No. Was it Monday? What day is it today?
Today's Wednesday. So that was Monday night.
Today's game day. That's all I know.
He was very impressed with Donair Force 1.
Yeah, well, he called it Donair Burrito. We had a good conversation about that. But he also said this, and this is what I want to put it out to our listeners and viewers. He said Vegas isn't fast enough against Edmonton. That Edmonton's too fast for Vegas. And I was like, wow. All we talked about, especially in the early months of the season, was how old and slow the Oilers were. And now we're in May, and we've got outside observers of this market going, boy, that Oilers team is fast.
Yeah. Were we all wrong, or?
Well, I think it comes to puck movement and how quickly the Oilers and efficiently they become at moving the puck. Because, a lot of the conversation early in the season was, no burners, right? Fogel's gone. McLeod was gone. Holloway was gone. You got old guys that came in to replace them. They don't have top end speed like those other guys. And then you would hear Gager talk about it. We would talk about Castwood, Belzy. They'd be like, yes, but you can mitigate like burner speed and fast boots with efficiency with the puck. And the Oilers, a lot of times, especially in the early parts of the season, weren't great some nights with the puck. But now, and I think of Klingberg and Wallman even, and the way they move the puck out and get it to the forwards tape to tape, they are a quicker team. I just didn't think they would be described as too quick for Vegas, too fast for Vegas. And that's what Granger and Ken Belke was mentioning that as well from Sinbin Vegas. Really? And then you look at the Golden Knights, and they're older, they're bigger bodied, but they can play like they're looked at as a Stanley Cup contender. But I heard that from Jesse, and he's like, yeah, man, Edmonton's just too fast for Vegas. It's like, huh?
Yeah. Well, also maybe Vegas isn't that fast though.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, Mark Stone's not a fleetest of foot.
No, he's not.
Mm-mm.
No, but Corey Perry's found a way to be effective in this series. Even Stone. I mean, Stone had a couple too.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get. Let's just dive right into these Popeye spicy headlines because I want to tie this in a little bit. Just quickly on Ken Holland. Do you think he took the Kings job just to go after the Oilers?
No.
Is this a straight up spite acceptance of employment?
No, but I think some of it is
because I like that
involved because I honestly do think Ken Holland would be able to come in with a fresh set of eyes and assess this Kings roster and be like, here's what we're going to do. This is, you want to get past Edmonton or make a run in the playoffs. Same kind of mantra that he used here. You're going to need a little tweak here, a little tweak there, and away we go. Test some things out. He's going to swing and miss on a couple of things. I don't think you're not changing Ken Holland, but I think he has a good understanding, pardon me, of how to build a championship caliber team. He did it here.
Yeah. I mean, we had when they hired him, the song that we'd been playing at the time was Pete Left a Tire Fire.
I like that song.
And he had hits and he had misses, but he turned this team into a Stanley Cup contender.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And but I like to imagine a world where they're like, what's the number one reason you want this job? And his answer is to beat the Edmonton Oilers.
I think it's a part of the answer, but I think it's to win a Stanley Cup, and he still has that fire. I do feel like there's motivation for him to shove it down the Oilers' throats after how things ended here, but I don't think it's the motivation. I don't think he's burning with anger like Warren Fogle was.
A little bit different there.
A little bit different. And plus, let's not kid ourselves. He got the Oilers good with the Broberg Holloway situation. Pass it off to his good friend Doug Armstrong, and the rest was history. You know, Dougie, as you're doing your practice swing.
Looks like you've got some cap room here.
Yeah. What I would do if I were you, I would go after Broberg and Holloway. Those guys are going to pop. Oh, yeah? What do you think it'd take, Ken? This is what you do. You send them an offer sheet, and you do it for $1 less than what it'll cost you for more picks. Both guys, guaranteed, they're going to be strapped for cash. You do it after free agency. You might be onto something, Kenny. I'm just saying.
Clever move. Mm-hmm. Clever move. Did you watch any of Winnipeg Dallas last night?
No, I actually did not.
Okay. And this is, I'm gonna claim this to be a bit of recency bias because of how good the Oilers looked last game. But if they play how they played in Game 4 against Vegas, I don't think either Winnipeg or Dallas will beat them in a series. If they play that good,
I don't think that's a crazy statement.
The Dallas-Winnipeg game last night was not this breakneck pace that I was kind of expecting.
I watched the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dallas would worry me, and it's going to be Dallas because Hellebuck has to play on the road again at some point in this series.
0-9 in their last 9 road games.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's awful. So, I mean, maybe if the Oilers start pushing the pace, maybe Dallas is the team that can go. And Dallas is, I'm just saying, if Edmonton brings their absolute A game, I think it'll be better than what Dallas can bring as an A game. Now, I'm not going to say the Oilers don't have off games in there. Dallas is a team you can't do that against.
No, that's true.
But when I was watching that game last night, compared to watching the Oilers, I kind of got overly confident that the Oilers will be able to win beat whoever comes out of that series too.
I do. The Oilers.
Dallas is very good.
Edmonton's back into that dialed in, focused mentality. You can clearly tell they're feeling it. And that's A, I think, relieving for the fan base. B, it's exciting again. I mean, not that it's not ever exciting to cover this team, but you can just see it. You're like, oh, yeah, they're getting into a groove. Oh, they're playing the right way. Like, they defended in layers. They're on the right side of the puck in game 4. They were physical. They stuck with the physicality for the majority of the game. Maybe a lull in the second period. They cleared out the crease. Stu Skinner was good when he needed to be. They got goals early. Like, they did so much right. And I think for a good chunk of the series, and the results are there with the 3-1 series lead, they've kind of played that way. So I get it. I look at every team that is left in the Stanley Cup playoffs. I think the Oilers are capable of beating all of them, but I do 100% believe that each one of those teams could beat Edmonton. I think it's a toss-up now. I don't look at any team in the playoffs and go, you're the favorite to win now. I really don't. I think anybody who's left could win the Stanley Cup outside of Winnipeg. Maybe Washington.
You don't think they could win? You don't think they could win?
No.
I'm just because they're out, like because they're done, or you just don't think they would have had what it takes even if they beat Dallas?
I'm convinced there's something with that core in Winnipeg. They are incapable of pushing themselves over the top. And it does rest on the shoulders of Connor Hellebuck. He has not performed anywhere near as well as he should. I think it is on Scheifele. I think it is on Kyle Connor. I think it is on Nicholas Ehlers. I think it is on Adam Lowry, or Nikolai Ehlers, pardon me. I just don't think that group in Winnipeg can pull it together to be a Stanley Cup caliber team, unfortunately. They have amazing players. They have depth, but the mix isn't there. They don't have it. Washington, I'm a bit surprised by. I do think Carolina, I'm surprised by Carolina. I don't think Carolina gets to the Cup final. If I'm wrong, I don't care, whatever.
I think I might just be wrong on Carolina. Carolina does look pretty damn good.
They do look pretty good, but I
still don't think they beat Florida.
Same.
Nothing against Toronto.
I think Florida's dynamic to the point where they could beat Carolina at Carolina's own game.
Is this trending towards a rematch?
Sure. Or Dallas and Florida.
Millions of Oilers fans versus 67 Florida Panthers fans again?
Did you see the parade?
What was it? A watch party? Was that who tweeted me that?
I didn't see.
Somebody tweeted. I think it was a watch party in Vegas, and it was in like this central area. And it wasn't the one that was by the pool party. It was like
Stadium Swim.
Yeah, it wasn't that one. It was it in Vegas or was it? No, I think it was Vegas. And there was like 50 people there spread out. Yeah. It was just.
They do love the Golden Knights. Just
we could throw a better party with just our listeners who would come than the Vegas Golden Knights. Like the Nasty Bash is a better party than what the Golden Knights can put together.
That's the first thing I thought of is the Nasty Bash got nasty. Of course
you think of the Nasty Bash.
I had a great Nasty Bash.
Of course he did.
Did I
There's
ever?
a song about it. 780. By the way, Nasty Bash 3 this summer. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Let's get to a couple of your comments, then we'll dive into the numbers game here for Play Alberta. Where's that one from Jason Leduc? Jason Leduc says, guys, I remember how not many people thought the Oilers could just flip a switch when the playoffs started, but they have proven that theory wrong, I believe. Hyman's hit totals alone are proof positive. Statue Bosch Productions replies to Jason Leduc, says, count me as one of those people. I was pretty down on the team heading in. James says, Jason Leduc, the issue is that the Oilers also flipped the switch back off as seen in Game 3.
Although they almost won Game 3. Well, they were in Game 3.
If you look at these playoffs so far, they've got 3 losses. 2 of them came in the final 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So they've been in a pretty decent spot most games, even if they've had to claw back from behind.
That's a good point.
Now, is it as much? I think there's a lot of switch flipping here, but Klingberg is playing in healthy. Kane is playing in healthy. Mm-hmm. Whatever level of health.
Frederick's getting healthy.
Frederick's looking better. Like that's 3 significant pieces that you've added to the group as well.
Yes.
So they've also added to the roster and not just everybody else flipped a switch. But I mean, it makes a good point with Hyman hitting everything that moves and Podkolzin and Kapanen hitting everything that moves. And I would think those guys go out and run that back tonight.
And the depth guys have engaged in playoff mode, which is reassuring, I guess. Look, Henrik had a big game the other night.
Yeah.
That was excellent. Janmark is just very effective. Connor Brown is a buzzsaw out there. Podkolzin, very physical, always looking for Leon Draisaitl anytime he gets the puck, which is smart. Kapanen was a pleasant surprise the other night, and let's see if he can continue that and sustain it. That's the big question. So they have good. I always point back to good veteran NHL players. You got to have them if you want to be a contender. What do you got?
Well, we'll get to some texts, 780-218-9999. If you're watching on YouTube, hammer the thumbs up for us. We're going to blast through 100, so that's great. Thank you very much. And if you are listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, just send the link to your buddies so they too can join in on the free, crystal clear fun of Edmonton Sports Talk every single day. KB over in the chat says, put on your foil hat. What if Pix isn't hurt? We were up 2-0 going home and needed to get Stu going. What a perfect scenario to get his game back for the long run. If he played poor, Pix goes back in. Pickard finished the game and OT when he was apparently injured. They put Stu in the next game and he played okay and then had an amazing game with the shutout. Am I insane?
Yes.
Or was this some big brain move to ease the fan base into giving Stu the net back? Rip City Step immediately replies and says, "You're insane." And KB says, "Okay, thanks. I figured so." That is
well done, guys.
That is, I mean, what a theory. What a theory. Yes. But I don't think a team would go that far to ease Stuart Skinner back into the net when he gets ripped apart by the fan base after game 3. I don't know if that was in the cards, but what a theory.
Yeah.
God, that's too good, man. I love it. I love it, but you're nuts.
I have one here that I kind of want to chew on. So C-Ron says...
Wait, Tommy, can I throw a suggestion up first?
Yeah, of course.
Evander Kane should fake an injury so they can get Jeff Skinner back into the lineup and going, because they're up 3-1.
And why else would Chris Knobloch take Jeff Skinner to the middle of the ice during the morning skate and have a discussion as Daniel Nugent-Bowman took video of?
Do you think he said, "Hey, stay ready.
Stay ready.
Stay ready. We needed Kapanen. Stay ready. We're going to need you." That was a classic stay ready moment, wasn't it?
We need
Guaranteed there was at least, if I had to set the over-under for Play Alberta at 5.5 stay readies between Knobloch and Skinner in that conversation today, would you take the over or the under?
I'd be hitting that over so hard.
Smash the over.
Heavy bet.
We're not talking sprinkles. We're talking throwing down the mortgage on the over. Use your game sense, obviously. But if you have a mortgage to spare, put that mortgage down on the over 5.5 stay readies from Knobloch to Skinner today.
I put my firstborn child's college tuition fund on it. Over 5.5 stay readies.
I love you saving for a college tuition for a child.
I would never.
I'm barely doing that, and I have kids.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, man.
I know. Okay, let's get to this one from C-Run. It says, depth scoring. We haven't seen the same production from Draisaitl and McDavid this year. The depth scoring, like C-Run has said, has been excellent. That's great. But C-Run's not the only one who has been saying this. Like, we haven't seen the same production from McDavid and Draisaitl. They're both top 5 in scoring. So it feels like it's a bit of a myth because they're not doing it as in your face as years past. Is that a fair statement?
Sorry, I was going back and forth with the Play Alberta guys.
Oh.
You can ask me that again. 1 sec. Okay. For anybody who wanted to get on that early bird bet, should be able to get on it now. The line has moved, which is what we do around here. We move lines.
What's it up to?
It was at 8-1. It's down to plus 650.
Oh shoot!
So that still is a bigger number than I thought it was going to be today. So get on it now because I wouldn't be surprised by 2 p.m. That's a 450. So get on it right now. Early bird bet, plus 650. Draisaitl goal, McDavid power play point. Edmonton Oilers to win. All right. Sorry, Tommy. What did C-Run say?
Okay. C-Run points out that there has been better depth scoring and clutch, timely, obviously, which is great and very true. But then says, we haven't seen the same production from Draisaitl and McDavid this year. And a lot of people have kind of pointed that out. But then you go to the stats page and you're like, well, McDavid's second in league scoring in the postseason. Draisaitl is tied for third at 15 points. Maybe they're not running away with the scoring, but they're definitely putting up points. And is it because, do you think, that we have this perception that they're not putting up points because they're not dominating games like they have in years prior? Or they're not just in your face, smashing points left, right, and center.
Yeah, we laid this out this morning. I know there was the panic after game 3 and then the euphoria after game 4. But if you think about what could possibly happen tonight, just like in a vacuum for tonight, just this game tonight, the Edmonton Oilers are going on the road to Vegas against the number 1 seed that has home ice advantage in this series. And they are going into it having lost a goaltender who'd been playing well to an injury partway through the series.
Yep.
They don't have maybe their number 1 defenseman in Matthias Ekholm. McDavid and Draisaitl haven't taken over a game offensively. And
true. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right. 5 points in 4 games in the series. They haven't. I think it's a fair statement that neither of those guys have taken over a game offensively in this series yet. I think McDavid's been good in the series. Draisaitl's kind of been hit and miss so far in the series. But Tommy, even with us saying that, the Oilers can eliminate the number 1 seed in the division in 5 games tonight with those guys not taking over, which even during last year's run, I don't think we would have said at any point.
Yeah.
Right? Is this year's team that much different and maybe possibly better than last year's?
I don't know about better. Different for sure. They have the
way they win is different.
They have the understanding of the climb to the final, and maybe that motivates them. But yeah, I think it's slightly different. Not lots different, in my opinion. I'm not sure. Interesting.
I'm trying to think at the beginning of the series if somebody would have texted in and said, Dusty, McDavid and Draisaitl have 5 points in 4 games. They each only have 1 goal through the first 4 games. What do you think is going on in game 5? And I think at that point, I probably would have said, well, at best, the series is probably split.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what the situation was laid out to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's, and on top of that, somebody comes to us before game 1 of this series and goes, Pickard's hurt. McDavid and Draisaitl have 5 points each and only 1 goal each in the first 4 games. What's the series at?
You're down 3-1.
My guess would have been, either you're down 3-1 or at best tied at 2.
Yeah.
And here they are up 3-1 going into game 5 tonight.
Yeah.
But that's other guys. Last game, huge game, amazing game. Henrique 2 goals, Kane a goal. Those 2 guys were on your third line.
That line I liked, by the way.
I think it was in the second period. Maybe it was in the first. Maybe it was after Henrique's second goal. Or maybe it was a little bit after that. But as I was watching it, you're watching Connor Brown out there, and he's been flying in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But you're watching Henrique and Kane, and you're thinking, I'm like, man, those guys are having a great game. But they also have been top 6 guys their entire career.
Yep.
And they're sitting there on an Oilers third line getting some pretty juicy matchups.
Yep.
That's really good depth.
That is true.
If those guys can stay together and do damage like this, it really opens up some possibilities if you need to move some guys in. Like if Arvidsson comes back in, he can just go up with Draisaitl. If for some reason Skinner gets inserted, he can go up and play in the top 6. Because if Henrique, Kane, and Brown can become an incredible third line, and we don't get too carried away, because if they lose tonight, who knows what Knobloch will do with the roster. But man, it's a very intriguing line.
Well, if he said stay ready to Jeff Skinner over 5.5 times, then he might be thinking something just in case. Anyway, but here is a difference I thought about in regard to this year's team and last year's team. The guys that are sitting out as healthy scratches are superior to the ones that were getting scratched last year. Like, you've got Jeff Skinner, 1,000 games, all-star, Calder Trophy winner, 30-goal guy, 40-goal guy. He's sitting out. Didn't have a great regular season. We acknowledge that. Victor Arvidsson you just took out. He's waiting to get back in. And he's had some good moments this postseason. You put Kasperi Kapanen in. Oh, look at that. It actually worked out the other night. Last year, we were talking about guys like Sam Carrick playing playoff games, Derek Ryan in playoff games. I think maybe just a deeper bench when it comes to veteran players now. Slightly deeper.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the two guys that have kind of pushed guys that they signed down were a waiver claim and a guy you got for a 4th-round pick from a rival.
Yeah.
Right? It's pretty impressive. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. I had that numbers game thing up there for a little while because a couple stats that I do want to get to. The numbers game, obviously brought to you by our partners over at Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, lottery, all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. Play Alberta has been overwhelmed with what the Edmonton Sports Talk listeners have been bringing to the table.
Nice.
Which is awesome. So,
good job, guys.
Yeah, it's great. And the relationship that we're going to have with them, I mentioned on the Lock Shop today, the DGen Den.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to join the DGen Den, hop over on our Discord channel. You can hop in there. There's guys talking betting all the time. They send over a parlay every day. And I also had them in the den. I said, hey, as you get, familiarize yourself with the book at Play Alberta, if there are changes that you would like to see, if there are bets that they don't have regularly that you would like to see, I said, put together a list and send it to me, and I'll get it into the hands of like the decision makers at PA. And I ended up sending a list over of like 12 things. And Jordan, you met Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, good guy.
He texts
gave
back,
me this hoodie.
He texts back. He goes, "This is exactly what we want. Like we want to see the things that people like. It's a simple things like dark mode for the website.
Yep.
Right. So you go there, and then there could be a dark mode. So he's like, a lot of the stuff we're already working on. These are great. And he said, but we want this. He goes, we want your listeners and viewers to have an impact on how the book gets better at Play Alberta, which they just haven't done with anybody else. And I think the only place they could do it actually is with us.
Yep.
So it's really exciting. Really exciting. All right. Oilers in potential series clinching games.
I like this.
Since 2017. This came in on that, what do they call it? Morning skate?
Morning skate report from the league. Yeah.
Yeah. Oilers in potential series clinching games since 2017 are 8-2. Like if you already like their chances to finish this thing tonight, to know that they've been hungry when they can go out and close it out is pretty damn impressive.
That is impressive. What is that? Like second best in that time?
The number one team, smaller sample size, the Habs are 4-0 since 2017.
Oh, magic run.
They haven't, that would have been the bubble run.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
The Oilers are obviously at an 800 winning percentage. The Habs just hadn't lost.
Yeah.
But that's, as a group, you should be pretty, and the core is the same since 2017. These guys have all been through this playoff thing together.
Yeah.
You have to be pretty impressed with their ability to go out and close things out.
That's why I was thinking to myself, tonight would be a great night for a Draisaitl McDavid supernova night. Maybe this is where they do it. They haven't had a chance to or haven't been able to. And then tonight they go out there and they say, no, you know what? Screw this. We're not going back to Edmonton to play game 6. We're doing everything to have our best game and to take over and win it. The sheer will to win. It could happen. It would be lovely if it did. I would love a nice weekend off outside of Hello Hockey. Saturday's 10 to noon here on
nice long weekend.
Oh, I didn't even know it was May long weekend until yesterday. Seriously.
Yeah, actually, I can't really mock you because last weekend, Tam and I were doing some stuff around the yard.
Yeah.
And obviously, CFL season's starting pretty soon.
Yes. I'm very excited, by the way.
Yeah. What do you have, like 12 games?
I've got 13
games.
Yeah. And 4 in Calgary.
We are really lucky Rashog doesn't like to work.
I am thankful.
Feel 4 in Calgary?
4 in Calgary. And I'm in Calgary for the first Stamps game. I got Ticats Stamps.
Just a sec here.
I've got Labor Day this year.
Are you with us on Labor Day?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I didn't tell you that?
No.
I got Labor Day.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know.
Dude, I am pumped.
Congratulations. Labor Day game's big.
I'm excited. Eddie texts me regularly now. I feel like I'm a part of the team.
Just a sec here. I want to see how many games we're doing together because this is great. Awanik, actually, I sent him the whole CFL schedule and he went through and broke down my games for me. Just me.
I sent him my schedule. Nice. He has not responded.
What do we got? Here we go. Okay, so
I'm with Rod Smith and Marshall
I don't know how
sometimes.
many. July 3rd, Winnipeg at Calgary. Oh, here we are. I think I might have the. I might have the.
Chantel Shand and I are splitting Calgary. It looks like.
Okay. How many games do we have? I'm in Montreal, Winnipeg, Hamilton, BC, Winnipeg, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, Ottawa, Edmonton. You must be doing that
I've
one.
got that one, yeah. I've got every Edmonton.
My family's going to be in for that.
Oh, perfect.
My sister, my nieces, because they're coming up for the golf tournament.
Yeah.
And I said, well, make sure you come up by like Friday or Saturday, and you guys can come to the game on Sunday.
Yeah, it'll be great.
So that'll be good. July 24th. That one's in Calgary. Wow. Well, this is only up until September, but I only have 3 games in Edmonton up until September.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Huh.
I
guess I am all over the place this year.
Yeah, scheduled for every Edmonton home game. I've got Hamilton at Calgary on the 7th of June. I've got Labor Day, which is awesome. I've got BC at Calgary to the 19th of September.
BC at Calgary, 19th
Winnipeg, Toronto at Calgary.
I'm in Toronto that day.
October 18th.
I was hoping we could get to that keg at the Westin there in Calgary.
I like that keg. That's where we used to stay when we were with the Oilers.
Yeah, it's a great spot. It's a great keg. Okay, here's the other number I wanted to get to for the numbers game. Aiden Hill, 1-1 when facing elimination. 950. It's very small sample size. He's only faced elimination twice. 957 save percentage, 1.02 goals against average. Let's tie this in the number game. Can they rattle him again? Do you think there's no way Hill allows himself to become unraveled in 2 consecutive period ones?
Not like that. I don't think they can do it like that, but I think they can still chip away at him. And I said, shoot one of the first shots of the game. They call it wasting one. Fire a high, hard one at his head. And if you hit him, bonus. But just whistle 1 or 2. And if it hits guys in the head, that rattles them.
I mean, I would even throw the old snow job in there.
Sure.
Like right away, get in, flip a puck on net.
And he's expecting
it. Yeah, but with how rattled he got in game 1, he might be like, no, you...
It could just do what you can.
Because
don't go
I'm trying to
overboard,
think,
though.
The Oilers did... I think it was the early goal that messed him up. Because the Oilers... He pushed Hyman.
Yeah.
But Hyman wasn't really like giving it to him.
No. He was just buzzing around.
I don't know if the Oilers, Janmark skated through, but Hill threw his leg out.
Yep.
Kane got pushed into him. But I think he started to become unraveled and actually initiated a lot of it himself.
Maybe he was trying to like set the tone.
Did he cross-check or slash Hyman by the side of the net too?
Yeah. Remember
that guy came flying by and he...
Yeah.
It was a snap show. It made no sense.
Maybe he was too amped up for the game.
So I would love to see them get to him again tonight early. And that might do it. That might be the series. But so his numbers have been good. He's only been in 2 elimination games, but his numbers have been good. Bronco Nick says partying in Vegas tonight would motivate me. It should motivate.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
They would stick around.
They've stayed every time they've done a trip. So, yes, they're staying tonight.
But the other times be different because they have to get back and play. Mm-hmm. Tonight, you might not be playing again for 4 or 5 days. Is this not a knob lock into the room after the game tonight? Be like, guys, plane leaves at noon tomorrow?
Yep.
God, can you imagine that?
I'll see it down in the lobby at 10.
Nothing against.
There's going to be guys, if they win, that probably don't sleep tonight.
Yes. So I was going to say, nothing against... everything else they have, being millionaires and getting to play hockey for a living. But I would love a job where the one night your boss is just like, hey, boys.
See you tomorrow.
Vegas tonight.
Yeah.
Hop on the plane tomorrow.
Yeah. Don't get arrested, please.
You see Stoff walk into that plane tomorrow? I want Stoff leaving Vegas in that slow-mo walk, much more disheveled than he was coming in.
One side of his shirt totally untucked.
3 buttons are undone.
Sugar-free rock star in one hand. Starbucks caramel macchiato with extra drizzle and whip in the other. And unfortunately, Cam Moon probably helping carry a bag for Bob. Because that's how good of a guy Mooner is.
Poor Mooner.
Yeah.
Oh, that just sucks. Ron says, if this series goes the distance, I want to see Dusty do a new segment called Hill's Kitchen where he rants like Gordon Ramsay.
That's pretty funny.
Hill's Kitchen is a pretty good one.
Ron's first foray into the text line was on the Hangout, and now he's back at it. I love this. Welcome, Ron.
There we go, Ron.
We're
That's
getting
what I'm
a lot more new.
Hey, Ron, tell your friends,
texters.
my man.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. That's great. Peter texts in. Let's get to some texts. We got about 15 minutes left here in the oil stream. 780-218-9999. If you're watching over on YouTube today, smash that thumbs up for us. We're 25 likes away from 100 over there, and you can hit us up in the nasty chat. Double A says, Stoff, no shirt, full Randy Bobandy.
Ew.
Jeez. Stoff is built more like me, not so much, what do you refer to yourself as?
European distance runner.
European distance runner.
Yeah.
HR Daddy texts in. Says, he texted me on my phone. He must be listening or watching. Love you, Dad. Because of what Edmonton did to Hill last time, do you think Vegas takes a run at Skinner tonight? Would that be a word?
Go for it. Sure.
I thought one of them might after the, it was one of the TV timeouts. He was skating back to the bench, and this is when things were kind of fiery. I was like, oh, man, I'd be so tempted to just put a shoulder into him and just be like, let's put Olivier Rodrigue in net for the rest of this series.
Well, they do have Colin Delia up here.
Stu's a big guy.
He's he can
take a little bit of traffic around the net.
He should be all right.
I can't imagine the show tomorrow if Vegas does something. Do you think something insanely dirty happens tonight?
No, I don't.
You think they go down with a whisper if they're going down?
I think it's going to be like a hard fought, good pace battle, and I think there's going to be too much tension for it to get out of hand. Unless the Oilers break the Golden Knights and bust this thing wide open, then Vegas will try to hurt them.
Yeah.
That's what I could see.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if we're doing our gentleman show tomorrow.
I hope that this happens. I really do.
I know. I really want this modified gentleman sweep.
Yeah, Eric is very
Trev's
ready.
Been working on all of his gentleman voices. It's pretty good. Anyways, we've been working on things like see and
yes, absolutely
very nice. Gentleman sweep. Let's get to this text. Brandon from Regis texted me 7:52 game time.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Brandon from Windsor says, I'm just catching up on YouTube, and I keep hearing Tommy mention about Ken Holland being upset when he left Edmonton. What I don't understand is what was the problem? His contract was over. It's not like he got fired. What exactly was he looking for here?
He was minimized
before he left.
Yeah, for the whole season last year. Or minimalized.
That's why he was pissed.
Yeah.
Because Jackson came in and kind of took things over, right?
Yeah, exactly. And everything he did. Well, it started last year when they gassed Tyler Wright. That was a sign you're not coming back.
His guy, yeah.
Yeah, so they basically said, all right,
he was a lame duck GM.
Exactly. And that pissed him off.
Unless they wanted to blame him for not signing Holloway and Broberg.
Well, you heard that crap earlier this year. People were like, why did he do that? No wonder they didn't keep it. Guys, since we're talking about it, like you send Holloway and Broberg down to the minors because they were not playing well, because you need them to get better and they need ice time. They're young and they're developing and you're waiting for them to pop. You're trying to get them over the hump at the very end before they become full-time NHLers. They get sent down in December. Do you think their agents are going to want to renegotiate or start negotiations on the next contract in a position of weakness? Not an effing chance.
No.
So
he was bitter because of the way that it wrapped.
It's like, all right, well, you are the GM, but everything you do, I have to look over. I have to do. I am approving. By the way, we're getting rid of your right-hand man. All your scout. They got rid of a bunch of Kenny's guys in the offseason too, as they were deemed.
Before last season?
Going into this season.
Yeah. So they kind of cleaned out
the
remnants.
Yeah. Like before Paul Coffey became an assistant coach, he was brought in again as an advisor to help give the owner a better sense of what's going on with the team. Who was he dealing with? Kenny Holland. Did it create friction? Yes. It's stuff like that pissed Holland off. The guy's won how many? 3, 4 Stanley Cups as a GM? Got your team to the final, built a contender, and then you're like, hey, good job, but we're taking over, and whatever you do, you got to get approved by me. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not paraphrasing. I'm just kind of making it broad picture.
They chopped his nuts.
If you want to go that way, sure. Yes. I said one hand tied behind his back, but
remember in The Town when Ben Affleck was wondering about his mom and his dad?
Yeah.
And Fergie at the
he's doing the flowers.
He's like, I'll do you like I did your father.
That character is so easy to hate.
Oh man, he was great, wasn't he?
He was, and they shot him.
I loved The Town. The Town is such an amazing
Awesome movie.
When Affleck walks in and goes, "Hey, come here," and then shoots the guy in the head, and then it kind of gets unrealistic when he goes back to see Fergie and they shoot each other like 9 times, and Affleck doesn't even get hit.
Not once.
But whatever.
Great movie.
Then he shoots him right in the balls. God, The Town is a good movie. Jeremy Renner is unbelievable in that movie.
Yeah.
I love them all. They're all great.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. And then obviously The Departed, also along the same lines as The Town, but both of them excellent for their own reasons. Based in Boston. But The Town has the shootout at Fenway. Which is sick.
So incredible. Of course, Affleck's going to write something to do the coolest thing ever at Fenway.
I would.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah. That was an excellent show. All right. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Marco over on the Nasty Chat says, guys, friendly reminder, anyone wearing their jersey to work today, tuck the jersey tie-down strap in before you go take a poop. Don't ask me how I know.
Oh, no. Ew.
That is absolutely disgusting. It's a Nasty Chat for a reason, I guess.
That's nasty.
But I mean, you could see logistically why that could be a bit of a nightmare. And damn, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. You probably should bring a second jersey to work next time as well.
Burn it.
Ernie is wondering if Jack Campbell will end up in LA now.
Well, he was in LA at one point already. No,
probably.
No, I think he's riding it out. I don't know how he ended up doing this year. I know he was down in Detroit's farm system.
Does the presence of Troy Stetcher make the entire blue line better again tonight?
Yeah,
I think it does. I think the whole blue line was better because of him just being more available than Emberson.
Yep.
And then you could just stick with your D pairs. I don't know if I fully buy into him being the nurse whisperer as it was described, but I think I'd rather Nurse play with Stetcher than Bouchard.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm. Kulak with Bouchard was respectable, wasn't it?
Kulak with Bouch is the best option they have without Ekholm with Bouch. Like I think the pairs they have together right now, they'll still take Ekholm when they can, when healthy, if he can make it back at some point.
Yeah.
But I think the pairs they have right now almost write themselves. Like I don't think it's a genius move by any stretch. Getting Stetcher in for Emberson makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
You know, a veteran guy.
But they had won
plays
6
with
in
some
a
fire.
row. You're not changing
Emberson
things
doesn't.
up.
Yeah. But I think they've got the right formula on the back end now. Kulak, Bouchard without Ekholm is at his best when he's with Kulak. I think, I don't know. I apologize if the numbers say something completely different, but the old Dusty's eye test says I like those two guys together. Nurse and Stetcher, I like. And I think Wallman and Klingberg work. Like that's a pair that can get the puck out. Like they can move the puck. You don't see those guys get trapped in their zone very often. So
that's true.
I like where the blue line is set up right now. And if they do advance against Dallas, and maybe they get Ekholm back, later in the series, but I think I like their blue line even with Ekholm, maybe more than Dallas's blue line.
A couple of people were pointing out, a couple of listeners were talking about like Labushkin and Leon Bischel, and even saying, hey, CC isn't the strongest defensive. If I was the Oilers, I'd rather have CC than Stetcher, but there's a big price gap there.
But they're rolling they did 7 last night.
Yeah.
But Petrovic, Bischel, CC. I mean, Harley and Heiskanen and Lindell are really good. I love those three, but I think those other 3 guys can be attacked by how aggressive the Oilers are right now. So
I do have a Jack Campbell stats update, by the way.
Okay.
Got into 14 games with Grand Rapids this year. He went 5-7-1 with an .893 save percentage and a .291 GAA. 2 playoff games he got into 0-1 with a 269 and 905. I don't think
I had better numbers in the playoffs. So that's a positive, I guess.
Yeah, there's that.
Peter Matashuk over on the Nasty Chat on YouTube, 16 likes away from changing 100. So hammer that thumbs up for us, please. And sub to the channel if you haven't already. We think you'll like what we do here. Says, Dusty, never apologize to the analytical crowd. I learned, I think you might still be learning a little bit.
What?
Yeah, it's tough picking fights with the analytical crowd.
I don't pick fights with them. I have no point. I don't.
Yeah, but I mean, some of them with how dismissive you. What was the stat your other day? Expected goals for. You're like, they're stupid.
Yes,
like that just doesn't go over. I used to be that guy, and I got torched. For so many years.
I don't read your comments.
Yeah,
I don't give a crap. I'm telling you what I think, and you might say you're an idiot, Tom. In fact, people say you're dumb, Tom, and I go. Sometimes people feel that way. That's fine. We can still be friends. It's just I think those stats are useless. There are other advanced analytics that are useful, and I like possession stuff. I like Reed and I were talking about odd man rushes. It's just the expected over 60 and this and that. Hot garbage, in my opinion, and that's just me. And that's fine if you don't agree, and if you like them. If you want to analyze the game using them, great. That's awesome. We all love this game. We see it differently. I just don't like those stats.
I was very anti-analytic in the big anti-analytic movement. You know, like early.
Oh, I'm not against. No, I never had. I never had a thing against.
When Dello was still on Twitter and stuff.
But that's because they would fight with mainstream media and people who've been around. There was like this agitation there. I never got involved with it. I didn't care for it. I was always curious. Okay, what are we looking at? Tell me about this stat. Tell me about that stat. There are good stats in analytics, but there are some that are hot garbage. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I'm never gonna fight with anybody ever. Like it's just I don't like that.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm different where I will engage. I don't mind the odd scrapperoo.
Northside Sandwich, not a huge Corsi or Fenwick. I don't mind Corsi, but I'm not going to spit Corsi and Fenwick at you and base my opinion of the game off of it.
Yeah.
I'll look at it and be like, okay, interesting. All right. Yeah, I can see where, shot share, this, that. Okay, I see. Good indicators, good stats to back up what we witnessed in the game. But I'm not going to base how I view a player or a team solely on expected over 60 or whatever.
All right, what time do you get rolling tonight?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Hudson's on White. I might be there tonight.
It's going to be jammed.
It's coming down to the Barracuda here because he was supposed to have swimming at 7, but then it looked like he had hockey tonight, but hockey got moved to tomorrow night. So his swimming had been canceled tonight. So we're trying to get him back into swimming tonight, but the only time he can get a class is at 7:30. And, with CFL coming up, I don't want to miss out on any opportunities to take my kids to things. So I basically said to Tam, it's up to him. If he wants to stay home and watch the game or if he wants to go to swimming. So we'll see his choice. If he stays home, then I'll probably make it down to, but if I take him to swimming, I mean, I wouldn't probably get to the game till like midway through the second. So well, I don't know. But I like to come, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
We
definitely
have a big group of nasties coming.
We had that whole dance floor last time and other tables too.
16 available. I did talk to Connor from Hudson's White. He says they're packed. So it might be tight. And then
I think little Dusty could sneak in, eh?
I think so. And my dad has a table, so.
What? Reno in the house?
Yeah, so you might be able to.
Why didn't you say so, eh? Yeah. I get sad. I'll just stand. I basically stood by you for a bunch of last game. And we got seats there. It'll be fine. I've had to jump in through that window right behind you. I'll jump in through that window right behind you. All right, so that should be fun tonight. If you want to slide on down, get down there relatively early-ish. Tommy will be going live at 6 o'clock. We got EST Afternoons on the way next. That'll be followed by the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 until 6, and then the GCL Diesel Show kicks off right at 6 o'clock. Nobody has you covered here in Edmonton for sports like we have you covered. Simple as that. End of story. Don't go anywhere. EST Afternoons is coming up. I see Hernan selected the Denver Broncos in the second round of our Tecmo draft. Interesting. Very interesting. Gentlemen's Sweep Show tomorrow morning on the Nielson Show. I'll talk to you then.